It's 11 trivia questions on a box office showdown. I'll give you two movies. You just got to tell me which movie made more money at the global box office. This is Trivia with Buds. What it be, and welcome to another episode of the Trivia with Buds podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Buds. Thanks for checking out my show. I have a lot of cool stuff in my garage, and you can see pictures and videos of it by watching the show on YouTube at youtube.com/trivia with Buds. And a shout out to some of my other favorite trivia podcasts out there, including Pod Quiz with my friend James in the UK, which has been running for, I think, like 12 years. There's hundreds and hundreds of episodes, and they come out every single week. If you like a nice random 20 questions, that is the podcast to go to. Also, my friend Jonathan Oakes at Trivial Warfare, always a great time. And my new friends David and Annie over on Quiz Bang Bang from Lisle, Illinois. We're going to be doing a team up with them in the next couple weeks where they will take over my show and I'll be a guest on their show. So it should be a ton of fun if you like trivia podcasts. Today's episode is all about box office showdowns. I gave you a bunch of movies teaming against each other. So it'll be like this movie versus that movie. And you got to tell me which movie made more money at the global box office. And that is the global, not just the U.S., and it is not adjusted for inflation, although most of the movies are in the top 100 and came out in the last, 5 to 10 years. They all came out around the same time for the most part, except for one of them. So that's why I mentioned the inflation thing. It's a pretty fun episode if you like movies, and I used it in my live trivia nights last week, which was a big hit. People always like the 50-50 rounds because they can just guess one or the other, even if they don't know too much about movies or they haven't seen some of those movies and things like that. But some of these will surprise you. I will warn you about that. Some of them you'll be like, no, there's no way. But, both movies might have made $900 million, but one made $950 and one made $940. So they were still both successful, but one happened to make a little bit more than the other. So keep that in mind. If there's a certain topic you want me to do on the show at any point in the near future, go support the show on Patreon at patreon.com/trivia with buds. You can donate $5 or more per month, and you get to pick a topic in a big Excel sheet that I will share with you. And you can enter all your topics for the year, like my friend Jordan did from Wreck My Podcast. That's another great podcast if you like nostalgia and trivia and things like that. Go check out Wreck My Podcast. But yeah, you get to pick a topic, and we've recorded a bunch of really good ones lately that were topics picked by Patreon subscribers. Episodes like sitcom weddings, Dave Matthews Band, music and lyrics, and one recently on DC villains. Those were all a couple that were on the Patreon chart that I recorded. So I'm getting ready to do the March picks. There are quite a few people who are at the $5 level, and I would say maybe 20% of them actually fill in the chart. Some people just like to donate and then they forget about it or they are just too busy. But if you are keeping up to date on your charts and things, make sure you go in and fill in your picks for this month of March or the whole year. You can do the whole year, the whole thing is on there for the year for the Excel chart. And I will get to those at some point. So it's always good to have those. And shout out to Mike Maximchuk, who's been looking at that chart and writing quizzes for me so I can take less time to write them and actually just record them, which is always helpful. If you ever want to send me questions and you want to send me content, I'm always down for it because there are times, especially when things get really busy or a show pops up last minute during the day and I'm like, I didn't do a podcast. What am I going to do? I don't have time to do this. And I turn to big banks of questions from Mike and other friends of the show. So thank you in advance for doing that. We're going to jump into 11 questions right now on a box office showdown. It's a 50-50 round, and it's a ton of fun. Here we go. All right, guys, it's time for the box office movie showdown. You just got to pick which of these two movies made more money at the global box office. Here's number one, Avengers Endgame versus Avatar. Number one, which movie made more money? Avengers Endgame versus Avatar. Number two on your list, Frozen or Frozen 2? Number two, was it Frozen or its sequel, Frozen 2? Number three, Minions versus Black Panther. Which movie made more money? Was it the Minions movie or Black Panther? Box Office Showdown. Number 4, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story versus Joker, the recent movie from Todd Phillips. Which movie made more money, Rogue One or Joker? Number 5, Finding Nemo versus Zootopia. Which movie made more money at the global box office, Finding Nemo or Zootopia? Number 6, Bohemian Rhapsody or Spider-Man Homecoming. Number 6, Bohemian Rhapsody or Spider-Man Homecoming. Number 7, we have Venom versus Coco. Venom or Coco? Which made more money? Number 7, Venom or Coco? Number 8, E.T. versus The Da Vinci Code. Number 8, E.T. versus The Da Vinci Code. Number 9, Up versus Deadpool. Up versus Deadpool. And number 10, The Hunger Games versus Interstellar. Number 10, The Hunger Games versus Interstellar. Your bonus question for 2 points: what Harry Potter film is the only Harry Potter film in the top 15 worldwide grossing movies of all time? For 2 points, what Harry Potter film is the only Harry Potter film in the top 15 worldwide grossing movies? Those are all your questions for the Box Office Showdown. We'll be right back in just a second with the answers. Go grab some popcorn. We are back with the answers to the Box Office Showdown. Let's see how many of these 50-50 questions you got correct. Number 1, Avengers Endgame or Avatar. The answer there was Avengers Endgame, famously dethroned Avatar. I think they both made $2.7 billion, but one just a little bit more than the other. And that was Avengers Endgame. Number 2, Frozen or Frozen 2. Frozen 2 made more money. The sequel usually does because people are excited to see it again. Frozen 2. Number 3, Minions versus Black Panther. The answer there was Black Panther. Marvel's big triumph of a movie, Black Panther. Man, the last couple Marvel movies have been so good. Number 4, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story versus Joker. Joker made more money there. I think $900 million. Number 4, Joker. Number 5, Finding Nemo versus Zootopia. It was Zootopia. I feel like people don't talk about Zootopia too much, but it made a ton of money. My wife said she thinks it's because there's Shakira songs in it, and I said, maybe you're right. Number 6, Bohemian Rhapsody versus Spider-Man Homecoming. Bohemian Rhapsody, Freddie Mercury, and Queen. I remember a lady at one of my trivia nights said, oh, I've seen it 3 times, and I'm going for a 4th. And I was like, really? I haven't even seen it once yet. But people really liked that movie and talked about it and saw it, and then Rami Malek won the Oscar for Freddie Mercury. Number 7, Venom versus Coco. We had Venom. Venom being the answer there. Somehow made more money than Coco. That's an example of one where it was just probably a few million more, but they were very close. Number 8, E.T. versus Da Vinci Code. E.T. made more money than the Da Vinci Code, even in the 80s. Number 9, Up versus Deadpool. We had Deadpool. Great Ryan Reynolds movie, Deadpool. And number 10, The Hunger Games versus Interstellar. Hunger Games made more money there, The Hunger Games. For 2 points, what Harry Potter film is the only Harry Potter film in the top 15 worldwide grossing movies? It was the last one, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. People wanted to see how that whole saga got wrapped up. And there you have it. Today's quiz has come to an end. It was on box office movies, and I hope you had fun playing along. We have one question for you in the form of the question of the day, brought to you by Funky Monkey Designs of San Dimas, California. Check them out at fmdesignsinc.com. And that question is, what is the name of the main chili villain from the cartoon Adventure Time? Tweet me your answer or email ryanbuds@gmail.com to be eligible for a prize. Yesterday's question of the day answer was Night at the Roxbury for the Will Ferrell, Chris Kattan movie from the 90s. And your trivia team name of today is Sleepaway Camp Nowhere. Sleepaway Camp and Camp Nowhere for that perfect combo team name. Thank you guys for listening to the show. Thanks for telling a friend about the show. And we'll see you tomorrow for more trivia with me. Cheers.